The advice and opinions expressed by the host of Autism Live and her guests are meant solely as suggestion and should not be in any way construed as child-specific advice. Any choices you make in determining your child's treatment are completely at your own discretion.
Good morning and welcome. I need a handler. I need someone to handle me because I was going to try to go live on my Facebook at the same time and share, and I'm not quick enough. The opener is that short now. But I loved, if you watched yesterday's show, we had on some of the artists who created that segment for us. We're so proud. They're wonderful, wonderful artists that we worked with through Spectrum Laboratories. They got paid for doing that for us. We love the music that goes with it, and I love the little birds. Meep, meep, meep. So thrilled that you guys are here with us. I know many of you tune in on Tuesdays for Temple Grandin Tuesdays, and you know we only interrupt Temple Grandin Tuesdays for very special occasions, and today is a very special. We have Matt Asner and Navah Paskowitz-Asner joining us in just 1 second, and we're going to be talking about they're amazing. Everybody's talking about it. The gala that they're doing in December, which is the second time that they're doing a table read of the classic movie that really makes Christmas for us, It's a Wonderful Life. And we thought last year it was just off the charts, unbelievably beautiful. And we were like, okay, well, that's, there's no way you can top that. And then they went and they are like, it's already topped. I don't even know how to talk about it. So we're going to bring them in to talk about it. But before we do anything, couple of business things. First of all, we're live right now on YouTube, Twitter, on Facebook, and about 10 other sites. But bring up those three in particular is that right now you can chat with us directly from YouTube. Like Ty just, hi, I'm saying hello to you. I'm so glad that you're here. So write in right now. You can say hello, good morning. You can tell us where you're watching from. I like to hear where in the world you're watching from. So please feel free to do that. But we're also a free podcast. We are available as a free download wherever you get your podcasts. In fact, we're the #1 rated autism podcast, and that's all thanks to you guys because you like us, you share us, you review us, and we don't spend money on marketing. We just don't have that. So we count on you guys to be our grassroots marketers, and we thank you for doing that so well. You're near and dear to our hearts. But we hope that you'll interact with us during this hour because we've got these two amazing guests. But before I forget, I have to tell you, did you happen to catch at 3 a.m. this morning when Dr. Doreen Granpeesheh was on The Doctors? No, because none of us were awake at 3 a.m. That's just crazy talk, right? So after the show, we're going to be sharing it. I'm going to share it on one of the clips from Dr. Doreen Granpeesheh on The Doctors this morning, talking about very controversial treatments for autism with other experts. So really cool. Nazra, hello. There you can see, doesn't she look fabulous on The Doctors? And answering the question, I watched it not at 3 a.m. this morning, but I watched it this morning and I was kind of amazed that what's going on with Duke University. It's a big, it's controversial. So you want to check that out. And we'll make that available on all our social media so you can check out our very own Dr. Doreen. But today, she does look great, doesn't she, Nazra? Thank you. So today we're setting aside our Temple Grandin Tuesday for the very special guests. We just don't do this for anybody, right? But Matt Asner and Navah Paskowitz-Asner from the Ed Asner Family Center are joining us live. And look at how great they look too. You guys are so cute. I say this all the time. You kind of give us diabetes because and in fact, you're so sweet. You just celebrated a really important anniversary, right?
Yes, we did at number 7.
7-year itch. The 7-year itch. We're starting it.
7 blissful years.
And for people who don't know your story, a lot of us call you the Brady Bunch of Autism. In fact, that's what one of your podcasts that you guys do. You call it the Brady Bunch of Autism, right? Why? Mm-hmm. Why are you the Brady Bunch of Autism?
Well, it's an interesting story.
Yes, it is.
We're a blended family, so we each are products of divorce, and we blended our families together, and that's why we got that nickname, and it just kind of stuck. So
Yes.
that's
But
the way it is.
why they call us the Brady Bunch of autism is because
Oh,
I
well,
had
that's true,
4
yeah.
children, 2 autistic sons, and Matt had 2 children, 1 autistic.
Yes.
And so blending our special family together made us extra special.
It
That's
seemed a
right.
natural fit.
Wait a minute, I have to ask a question. Was that
Yeah.
Doreen at 3 a.m.? Because she is my hero if she looks like that at 3 a.m.
Well, the truth is that I believe that the segment was pre-taped, but I
Okay.
believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was pre-taped at an ungodly early hour. So
Oh,
still,
Lord. Well, she is amazing looking in that, and I'm very excited to watch that later.
yeah, no, it's definitely a yowzer to watch. We're saying good morning to Jean too, who's joining us. But no, we love the fact. So 6 kids all together.
Yes,
And
we only have 3 left in the roost, and you know, our you were talking a little earlier about the gala coming up. So we have the gala.
yes.
We have this incredible.
Are we jumping to that?
No, I was
Let's
just
do
going
it.
to say,
We're
say
segueing.
that you and I, in the last, you know, almost 10 years, well, 9 years that we've been together, we've been through 4 of our, you know, parents passing away.
Yeah.
And we've moved, I don't even know how many times. And we just found out that we have to move again.
Which is
So,
crazy.
in December, by the way. So that's our.
If there's anyone that can do it, she can.
That's right.
I
That's
don't
right.
include myself in the equation because
Your
I'm
son
gonna-
Will has told me that before. One of my
Remember
favorite talks with Will was when you were moving. I don't know if it was last time or the time before, and he came to the studio with Matt, and I said, "Here, have a seat in the control room," and he sat down and he went, I get to sit. Navah has me on a schedule packing boxes, and it's such a relief.
Oh, I am
ready,
the
Will.
captain. I have to, because
Of course.
it's a lot. It's a lot when we are not working 6-7 days a week, but now it's going to be a challenge that is, you know, it's going to be, you know, I'm trying not to think about it all at once, because I start to spin a little bit.
I don't
But
think
you have
about it.
people who love you, who will help too. And
Yes,
thank goodness
we have a
the
lot of
height
people who are
COVID.
willing to come from a lot of different places to help us.
Count
And
us in.
we definitely are going to need all the help we can get.
But let's
Count
switch.
us in. We're happy to move. Yeah, but let's switch gears. I don't think, am I mistaken? I don't think you guys have been on since your dad passed away. And so, you know, and Navah, I'm not sure, have you been on since your mom passed away? You guys have had so much loss.
It was a back-to-back blow. It really was. It was within just 2 months, and we were still reeling from my mommy, and then you know, Ed's was a shock. We were not expecting that.
A shock and shock, but
a shock and a shock. And I'm sorry, I keep over talking you, but part of what's happening in December is a celebration of your dad's life.
Correct.
And the gift that he was. So you do a yearly gala, and I love how inventive you guys are, because last year, 2 years ago, it was a gala to celebrate your dad's birthday. And it was I must say, Matt and Navah, you guys have the best events. They are the most events of the year, always, whether it's a Valentine's Day dance or, you know, your poker tournament. There's something about when you guys have events that it all gets a little bit like anything could happen.
Yeah.
Well, I think I have an answer for that. I tend to really appreciate adventure in that circumstance, in that world. So, you know, when I and that comes probably from my producing experience as a film producer, but I just feel like it's such an amazing venue, and the people that are usually involved, so celebrities or whoever's involved, they're up for, you know, for adventure. I mean, more than usual, because they're doing something kind of righteous. So it's an open playing field, and I think it's fun to kind of, you know, have fun with it, you know. And
everybody shows up to your events knowing that it's going to be fun, and that it's not going to be this button down experience, that people are going to raise money for important. And your angel, I see that we've got a grandmother who's writing in from Indonesia. We're going to talk a little bit about how the things that they're doing could be of benefit to your 16-year-old grandson, because that's the truth. So, in any case, you do these yearly events, then suddenly the pandemic hits, and it's like, what are you going to do? So I love that you decided that you were going to do this online table read of the classic It's a Wonderful Life. You told us all you were going to do that, and I think a lot of us were like, okay. And then you told us that Pete Davidson was going to play the role of George, and we were like, okay. And then you pulled off this amazing event that really was so great that people were saying, this is now like a part of our holiday tradition. So you decided to do it again. And we were like, where are they going to go with this? But honestly, you guys, the cast that you have lined up for this year's gala takes my breath away. It's crazy. You want to talk about some of these people?
Well, I got to tell you, before we get to the cast, I just want to tell you how this kind of happened, because last year, Pete Davidson was Navah's idea. Mm-hmm. And, basically I said, there's no way in the world that he'll do it, but I'll go after him. But there's no way in the world that he'll do it. And so we went after him, and it just kind of happened because, It's a Wonderful Life is one of Pete's favorite films. He used to watch it with his father when he was growing up. And there's a great story there because his father died in 9/11. Yeah. And he just wanted to be close to it. And so it was a natural fit for him. And so Navah taught me a great lesson, and that's that you just don't know what's going to happen when you do that. So,
well, also props to Navah for that brilliant casting, because I think a lot of people didn't see it, but then if you watched him do it, it's brilliant casting, Navah.
And people really prejudged him. Yeah. And I loved that he had a platform about mental health, and he had a whole new generation of kids that he was inspiring. But he took that role and he did it justice. And all of those naysayers who said we were crazy for putting some tattooed punk, as this beloved character, they really, really ate their words, because he was so good. Yeah. He was so authentic. I mean, he really gave it his all. And I'm going to say, I'll give you all the credit and let you tell the audience who are new.
Well, before you do that, they want to know, is there any way that they can still see Pete do George? Is it available anywhere to watch, you guys?
It's not. This is a one-time moment. I mean, I'll be honest with you. And if you can't make the actual screening, there will be a way where you can watch it.
This year, though, they're asking about Pete.
No, but I'm just explaining. Yeah, there's a way you can watch it for like a month, up until the 31st of December. But after the 31st of December, it's gone forever. Yeah, and it's not ever going to be seen again. So all we have are stories from last year.
That's right. So you don't want to miss this year.
Right.
So it won't be on YouTube. It's not going to be anywhere. And it's just one of those special things that we're being, being treated to, and because we're being treated to it as well. These are amazing.
Although sometime you're going to put out a commemorative DVD and sell it.
We'll see.
I don't know.
Down the road somewhere.
Making things up now. But in any case, okay. And we're saying hello to Helen as well. Helen. But so now you decide to do it again. What happened?
Well, we decided to do it again. I got to say that I was one of the lone people that was saying we're going to do it again, and everyone was saying, "Oh, come on, why are you going to do it again?"
I said do Miracle on 34th Street. I said do another one, because how can you top that?
My feeling about that is that I really feel that It's a Wonderful Life is a what do you say, perennial film. It's evergreen, and every time you watch it, there's something new in it, and it feels.
Well, it happens to be your favorite film.
Well, but too. I feel there are a lot of people out there who really love this film, and it feels like home. It's like something that's like toasted, marshmallows on the fire, or roasting chestnuts on the fire. There's something about it.
We wanted to make it a tradition in the center.
Wanted to make it a tradition. The pandemic is still going, so certainly. While we're in the pandemic, I think this is a perfect choice. So that's why we're doing it. It just kind of everything kind of happened for a reason this year. We're honoring my dad's life. It's a wonderful life. He had a wonderful life. But Navah, once again, had.
Well, I mean, since you cut me off, I'll what I was going to say, I wasn't going to take your glory. I was going to say.
I was going to give you glory.
No, I was going to say. Last year, you said the same thing to me that you said this year, which is, he'll never do it. Forget it. He'll never do it. And I said to you, can we just try? Can we just try to get this actor?
That's what you said last year, too.
No, because I felt like last year we really went outside the box. We got this young punk kid, tattoos, very unconventional guy. And to me, the most conventional, all-American, not square, but kind of square that everyone loves right now is, who is it, Matt?
It's Jason Sudeikis.
Ted Lasso.
So Navah said you should really try to go after Jason. Yeah. And I said, oh my God.
We'll never get him.
He's literally the biggest star in TV
actually,
right now.
I don't think he had won the Emmy. Had he won the Emmy?
Yeah, he'd won.
Okay, he'd won.
So
Matt said,
here we go.
Yeah.
So this is the cast this year. So we have Jason Sudeikis and Mark Hamill is playing Clarence. Rosario Dawson is playing Mary. Martin Sheen is playing Mr. Potter. Mandy Patinkin's playing Pa Bailey. Gene Smart is one of our narrators. Ben Mankiewicz is one of our narrators. Phil Lamar is one of our narrators. We got Ron Funches as Ernie the cab driver. We have Ed Harris as Bert the cop. George Wendt is going to be playing Uncle Billy. Now, the interesting thing about George Wendt is literally Jason Sudeikis' uncle.
Did not know that. In real life.
In real life. So it will be a real life uncle and nephew playing the George Bailey uncle and nephew, Uncle Billy. So, and then Lou Diamond Phillips will be playing Mr. Gower and other roles. And we have an amazing group of autistic actors, because that's one of the special things that we do. Wait, we have one more addition that I have to tell you about. I'm not sure. I think I told you the other night. You
did, and I teased it yesterday. I said you added an Oscar winner to this.
We did. So Ma Bailey is. Thank you, Gene Morgan, for your comment. I very, very, very much appreciate that. So the new addition to the cast is Kathy Bates. Kathy Bates will be playing Ma Bailey. So this is an amazing cast. It came together. Really, I mean, I can't even imagine a better cast. I honestly can't.
But can I talk about the thing that I'm most excited about is, for the first time since we've done this, we have given an autistic actress one of the lead roles. So a wonderful actress named Naomi Rubin, who's been on Atypical and a lot of other things. She is going to be playing Violet this year, who was played by Maud Apatow.
Maud Apatow.
Yeah, so she's over the moon, and she's really
but I also
get a chance, and like any other actress, and it's really exciting.
I also want to point out that we have some of the other roles in the script are going to be read by other autistic actors. Including Spencer Hart, Chelsea.
Well, we had to bring Zuzu back.
Right.
We had to bring Zuzu back. There's only one Zuzu.
Chelsea Darnell, who's also being honored that evening with her mom and dad. And we have Ryan Booth and Lucas Salewski and
Dominique
Brown. And that's it.
It's an amazing cast. But I also want to say, and this is important that we talk about all this, because people are going to want to go to this, and this is a fun, good time. In fact, let's tell them, what date is it and how do they get tickets? Because we're going to say this a couple of different times.
We just sent out an email, and my emails are going crazy. So that's why
I hear that. But it's okay. It's because people are asking for tickets. Yes. But
December 5th. December 5th, and it's at 5 p.m. our time, Pacific time. And you can still buy tickets at www.teafc.org/wonderful.
And the great thing about this is you can be anywhere in the world and watch this. So it's not like, oh, I'm not going to be in LA.
I think it has to be teafc.org/wonderful.
Okay. So we'll fix that.
But
how much are the ticket price? What's the ticket price?
Well, last year we had a ticket price of $50, and I honestly thought it was a decent price for what we were giving them.
Oh.
But I honestly, we kind of got together and said, you know what? The more the merrier. We want as many people to enjoy this as possible. We have to pay the bills, so it has to cost something. Otherwise, we do it for free. but we decided to bring the price down to $25. So we brought it down to $25 per household, and that's what it is. So
you pay so much more than that to go to a movie and bring the whole family.
Right.
Yeah.
So $25. But this is also, it's important for us to acknowledge that this is also a fundraiser. And this is what I want to get to, because a couple of people have written in and said, I tuned in today to hear about how I can help my child. And so all of this, we love to talk about the celebrities. We love to talk about this amazing event and how much fun it is. But let's not lose sight of why they're doing this. Talk a little bit about what the Ed Asner Family Center does and what some of this money goes to, the things that you guys have been doing in COVID, the things that you're going to be doing moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that we do that really matters in this kind of environment of uncertainty is the mental health division. So, with such a high divorce rate in special needs families, right now we have we're at capacity, but we're still, taking people on a waiting list capacity. But, the majority of our families are low cost and sometimes no cost mental health support. Our camps, which are year round, have a 75% scholarship rate. Our enrichments also have a between 60 and 70% scholarship rate. So everything we do, enrichments, camps, support groups, everything we do, we want to be able to include all special needs families, not just autistic families, all special needs families who want to give their children, expressive arts and interaction with other peers and friends. We just did an incredible program called the Dating Spectrum. And next month, or in January, we're doing kind of like a prequel to that called Sex Education, and really getting the foundational information that a lot of the teens and adults with autism, don't get from anything other than YouTube and Pornhub and all these horrible places that they're getting this misinformation from. So we're really doing this for the community, and every penny that we make from our gala goes to support these huge needs within our community.
But there might be some people, you guys, who are listening to this and going, oh, but it's in LA and I live in Kentucky.
Exactly.
And so this has nothing to do with me. But key them into the fact that you do stuff that, I just listen to myself. You do stuff. You do stuff that is that people are able to access around the world. So talk a little bit about what you do.
Well, I mean, we like Matt said, when COVID hit, we had to take all of our amazing in-person kind of like roster and put it online, and everything that we do online is free to the community. We do from yoga to photography class, support groups, instructional art, Bob Ross style with Navah Paskowitz. And we do all these things for free for the community. So we have people watching from all around the world now. And, anybody can go to www.teafc.org and really see. And in January, we are doing a free class. It is going to be in person, and it's first come, first serve. Teaching people how to learn the skills of being a clown. And it's a free class. It really helps build social skills and confidence.
That's an in-person class.
That's an in-person class, but it's free.
That's
my point. It's free.
It's free.
But I think, Trayvon,
sign up for that.
I think I see that you got prepped to show. Oh no, that's for the event. But if you go to the Ed Asner Family Center.org, or you can go to TEAFC, right? If I got the letters right.
TEAFC.org.
Yes. I always think TEFSA, and I end up singing like Anna Tefka. Yeah. But anyway, if you go there, you can click around on all the buttons and you can see all the things. One of the things that I have, said over and over and over again is that in COVID, you guys really stepped up. That a lot of people took some of their programs, they put them online, and they were still charging. you guys saw that wasn't going to work for families, and you put,
well, yeah.
you said, we're going to do the online stuff and we're going to make it available.
Well, we are a family. So, and we're a family that struggles like anyone else. I mean, we have issues. We have, but, I think we have it,
we have issues.
Well, we do, but no, I mean, during COVID, you didn't want to go out and spend a lot of money. That's not what you wanted to do. And families were hurting, and we knew that. And we wanted to provide something that everyone could take advantage of. And honestly, we made the decision kind of halfway through COVID, because I think we're still kind of in it. We made this decision that, you know what, we're going to keep our online stuff going and create new content online and make sure that it's always free, because there are families that are always hurting. And this is, a difficult time for everyone right now. And we just think it's important to be there for everyone.
Yeah. But there's so much, it's hard about how much stuff is going on, because there's so much stuff going on. So you guys do regular programming every day of the week. And sometimes it's, you have, you guys do podcasts with the two of you and with guests. You do a podcast with Krissa, who is an LMFT, and you talk about the mental health issues. But then Aviva does the drawing and the crafts online. There are all these things. One of the things that I have loved telling people about, that I feel like sort of started around COVID, is the movie chat with Chelsea Darnell. Talk a little bit about that.
Do you want me to talk about it?
Go ahead.
Well, Chelsea is a lifelong friend. I've known her since she was just a tiny little wee one. And I've watched her mature into this incredible leader in the community. And so when COVID hit, she asked me, I have a lot of friends. We're feeling really isolated and missing our daily routines. What do you think about doing a social club? And I really just let her go wild. And she created this organic, beautiful social club online where kids would watch a movie every week, and then they'd discuss it. And it became something so much more than that. I mean, it really became an outlet for kids to really check in with each other weekly, make sure that they were all strong and healthy, and keeping their mental state alive, because so many of our kids, I mean, we had three autistic kids who were doing 3 different online programs, and each one of them had their own kind of regression over the last couple of years, whether it was social or emotional. And we saw, this really directly impacting the older kids more than anybody, because they were just getting into the social groove of their lives and had that totally the carpet swept up from under them. Yeah. So with this weekly social club, it really was the foundation for the dating spectrum and sex ed and all the other things that we have created from it. But, I felt really strongly about having Chelsea be honored this year because, and her dad, Mike Darnell, and Carolyn, who's a very dear friend of mine, and really the glue that holds the whole family together. But seeing Chelsea become this leader in the community was so wonderful. And I felt like she really needed to be, applauded and honored for what she did. And I told her, I've had kids write me all year round about the impact that it made for them to have something to look forward to. Yeah. And when you have adults living at home, as so many of our friends do, and our own, family, you see the difference that having friends and self-confidence and something to look forward to each week makes in these autistic individuals.
So just to be clear, the movie of the week, sometimes it's 2 movies that are being compared and contrasted, which I also love. That's announced on Monday. And then so they watch it on their own at their own speed. They can watch it more than once if they want to. Then they show up and although I've been invited, I have not come to one because I feel very funny about it. I feel like it's their thing and I should not, be the spy. But it sounds like fun. What's that?
That's kind of how I feel. I think I joined one and I felt like, I felt like, I was like an intruder.
Intruder
Yeah,
alert.
that's how I feel. But I hear that it starts out, they talk about the movie, but then it quickly, as you said, Nava, turns into this
Turns into
whole
a
other
support
thing,
group.
Social
Yeah,
club
a
support group.
total, yeah.
which is like, you know, a book club. That's exactly what happens with people in a book club. They come to talk about the book, but they find themselves talking about life and supporting each other. So of course, I just love this. But the thing I love about it the most is that throughout the last 18 months, when a parent has reached out to me and said, I don't know what to do because my 18-year-old is sitting on the couch and I see them growing more and more depressed and I've got no place that I can take them and no place where they fit in and nothing to do. And I say, oh, I've got a thing for you. And you know what they always say to me? Whatever it is, I can't afford it. And I go, really? You can't afford free? And they go, what? And they're so excited to know, even if they don't actually make it with their, you know, to have their kiddos sign up, knowing that there's something there is the first step towards feeling like I'm not alone on this planet, which I know is part of what drove you to create this place.
Definitely, 100%. I think that, you know, our story starts out with Matt and I having this, you know, this family that we didn't see something where we could go to, we could feel comfortable. We wouldn't feel like if our kids tantrumed that we would be kicked out. But also where there was something for the entirety of the family, not just the individual. And that rather than schlepping from enrichment to therapy to this to that, you make a site where, you know, the whole family can do something at the same time. And we have so much more that we want to do, and so many different centers that really need to be in different locations, because what we're doing, like you say, you know, people every day are calling us saying, hey, you know, why can't there be a center in New Jersey or Arizona or
But there could be, but you can't get there by yourself and you can't get there with 35 cents worth of change, which brings us right back around to the dollar.
Good. Bring it home. Bring it home. So yeah, no, I mean, we don't, you know, we do this certainly out of the goodness of our heart, but we also, you know, we're not funded by any entity other than you. We're not funded by anyone other than you. And we can't do this without public assistance.
Yes.
It's just impossible. So we rely on people making donations and big, small, whatever it takes. There is nothing too small. It just all adds up to make what we do. And that's right. And that's important because I really believe that no one does, you know, what we do.
Yeah.
And I think the world would be a smaller place without us.
And we all need to make sure that these programs continue and that the center continues to grow. Now, you can just make a donation, and you can make a donation today, and you can make it of any size. Or you could share information letting others know how to make a donation, because that also is a very important thing. I have been the autism mom that was sitting there and going, I don't have $5 to give this month. But you actually can share something on Facebook and someone you know can share $5. And that is a way to be a part of as well. But I do want to say, you know, how about winning on all pistons, that because when you buy a ticket for your family to spend an evening watching It's a Wonderful Life with Jason Sudeikis, with Mark Hamill, I keep saying Mandy Patinkin has one of the smallest roles. Like, it's incredible to me.
Don't tell him that.
That Mandy Patinkin.
No, I feel the same way about
there.
That's how good this is.
Shannon.
What's that?
There are no small roles.
Yes, I know, but you know what I'm saying. When you have Mandy Patinkin coming into play, one of the supporting roles, this is the caliber of what you have going on, is what I'm saying. It's a compliment. But so you can pay $25, pop your popcorn, get your hot cocoa going. You set up the living room. You know, there's a way that you can make it so that it's on the biggest TV that you have in your house. and settle in with some cozy blankets to watch this with a family, and know that in doing that, you're creating a memory for your family. Here's the other thing about it. I'm always big on the arts, and that our kids need to be exposed to the arts. Listen, Spencer Hart, who's playing Zuzu, if her mother hadn't ever had opera playing on the TV at Phantom of the Opera, maybe she would have never sung. We got to expose our kids to the arts. Sometimes it's hard when, like, I'm all about taking our kids to live theater and letting people deal with if our kids are starting to have a little bit of an issue with it, because they have to be exposed to the arts. But in this way, you set up the TV, you set up the popcorn, and if the kids are running around a little bit, it's okay. Nobody's going to give you the stink eye, right? They can be a part of it. And in doing that, you'll know that you exposed your kiddos to art, and you'll know that you donated so that programs can continue for your kids and for other kids. It's a pretty sweet deal, and it's a holiday activity on top of the whole thing.
And I'll add to that. It's the thing. We didn't know what it was going to be like last year. It was really it was a new experience for us, and exciting, and it was scary and interesting to see what would happen. And the thing I loved the most about it was the kind of anything can happen kind of feeling.
Oh, yeah.
It was just, you had these big celebrities all on screen at once for hours, and reading this wonderful story that's based on The Greatest Gift by Philip Van Doren Stern. And it's a wonderful, wonderful experience.
Yes,
it is. It's
part of the fun was watching the celebrities' reactions to other people's performances. I cannot stop talking about, there's the lovely little scene between George and Zuzu, and Pete and Spencer. This thing happened, this magic thing happened, and you saw all of the stars leaning in with these ridiculous grins on their faces.
Because the $25 is worth just coming to the Q&A.
Oh, the Q&A.
After the show, there's everyone is kind of like you say, they're in this relaxed, we did it atmosphere. And that's when the real fun begins, when Ted Lasso is in a Q&A. You can't miss that.
And can I just need to mention something, because this year we have so much support this year from TCM. We partnered with TCM, so Ben Mankiewicz is going to join us for the Q&A, and Tom Bergeron is a host again this year, but Ben Mankiewicz will be doing the Q&A, and they were so excited by what happened last year that we started talking early this year, and they said, we got to be a part of this. We got to be a part of this. And also, I got to say, Me TV is another one who are supporting us this year. And it's really just a cool thing. It's a cool thing that I think everyone looked at what we did last year and was like, oh, this is great.
Now, is there also an auction element to this too, or not?
Yes,
there is. And we changed it up a little bit, because last year we kind of had our kind of standard auction that, it was just,
regular auction.
Good stuff, but good stuff. This year we got like a little bit of a Hollywood vibe to it. And there's like memorabilia and signed scripts, signed posters, really cool stuff that you'll only find at this auction.
That kind of follows the vibe of honoring Ed's lifelong work
and what we're doing, which is something that's entertainment driven, Hollywood driven. So,
and I have been the beneficiary of buying some stuff at your auctions. I'm very careful, with my dollars, and I've gotten some really good deals at your auctions. That, like, I am the owner of, I don't know if they're sponsoring this year, but I am the owner of a plush bed.
They are sponsoring this year. So if you want to bid on a plush bed, there will be some plush beds in there.
I keep saying we have to have the plush bed guy on the show, and I don't know why it has never worked out. But because
that should be the show on fibromyalgia, because that bed helps your pain.
I honestly think I'm almost down. I hope this week that I'll be down a total of 50 pounds. And I honestly believe that part of it is because the plush bed, because you cannot lose weight if you're not sleeping. Yes. And I honestly believe that is a big part of, and my bones feel better. So yes, but we should do that. We should do a show on fibromyalgia and make Mr. Plushbed.
Yes.
I don't know what his name is, so I'm calling him Mr.
That's
Plushbed.
a name for him, Michael Hughes. But that's
Michael and Carmelita.
That's a good Mr. Plush.
But honestly, I spent so much time looking for a bed that was going to be not filled with pesticides and was going to be right for our family and our breathing needs, our chemical needs, just so. And I found that in plush beds and was able to buy one at your auction, got a great deal, knew that the money was going to benefit you guys. So a pretty sweet thing. So we love your auctions, really fantastic stuff.
And we have two things going on this year. We have an auction and we also have a sweepstakes, because the sweepstakes is something we did for an event we did earlier this summer called Doug Days, which was the premiere of Doug Days. And we just had a, kind of a sweepstakes and it was fun. We had fun doing it. So we thought we'd do one for this. And it's there's some signed memorabilia from my father in there and some other stuff that will be worthwhile having. And it's cheaper than an auction. It's like $25 or something like that, or it's even less. I think it's $10 a ticket or something like that.
Like an Omaze kind of situation.
Yeah.
Got it.
So you buy a certain amount of tickets, and then
we also are going to have amazing performers. Can we talk about the performers?
Well, we have other performers during the intermission.
There's amazing performers that I can't talk about, but it takes this $25 admission and just makes it ridiculous.
So we're going to have, during intermission, we'll have 2 intermissions this year instead of 1. Okay. And give people a little more time to breathe during this. And we'll have a couple of wonderful people that you will definitely know, or if you don't know, a lot of other people will know them, and they'll be performing.
Okay. I got to say too, one of the things that I'm a theater, that's what my advanced degree is in. I love live theater, and this really is live theater. And as you said, anything can happen. And especially, we've all done the Zoom thing. We've done Zoom meetings to know that sometimes somebody forgets to unmute themselves or but that one of the most fun parts is when things didn't go perfectly, to watch these Hollywood celebrities cope with and somebody take somebody else's line because they couldn't get off of unmute. I'm telling you guys, this is like a thing you don't want to miss. So again, let's talk about, it's on December 5th, you said?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And it starts at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So do the math for your time zone. That's 8 o'clock Eastern time, which is, prime time. And it's online, but there are good instructions for how to make it go to your TV. We figured it out, and I'm a Luddite. So if we figured it out, you can figure it out.
Most TVs now will allow you to do it in 1 or 2 steps. And I agree with Shannon. Look up your TV model and then look it up on YouTube. Will show you how to do it. No problem.
Yeah. And so where do we want to go to get the tickets?
Go to teafc.org/wonderful.
/wonderful. Okay. We're going to say that.
Or you could just go to teafc.org and, click the button when you get there.
Okay. Easy enough to do. But people should get their tickets earlier as opposed to later. Is there a possibility that you will fully sell out? It's like, are you going to break the internet or
there's always a possibility.
All right. So you should get your tickets sooner.
I believe, that's just a metaphor for life. Get your tickets sooner.
Yeah.
Yes. Get your tickets sooner. And have the peace of mind knowing that you've got it set up, because there's a lot that's going to happen between now and then. Now, I do have to say that we're going to be partnering for an event shortly after that. And of course, I don't have the date in front of me, but I feel like
December 19th.
Oh,
19th. Thank you.
No, I just did our 2-month calendar. So I remembered that.
Oh, very good.
And it's on a Sunday, which is great.
Yes. And Autism Live, every year we do our Festival of Toys. We put out our toy and gift guide, which is coming out very soon. And we'll start doing our Festival of Toys. And we have done some version of a Sensitive Santa now for 7 years. It's a little bit different in COVID, and last year it was a little bit different, but I'm really excited that we're partnering together this year, and we're going to be doing some version of a sensitive Santa on the 19th, and toys will be given away. We can't really say much more than that at this point because we're waiting to see how COVID goes, how the numbers go, and what our comfort level is and what your comfort level is for, is it going to be a drive-through? Is it going to be an event? All will be disclosed, but save the date. If you're in Los Angeles, it is a thing not to be missed.
And it is going to be at the center in Reseda. And
Yes.
We're all going to be dressed in attire. We're all going to be in Elf and Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus. And
if you haven't been to the
it'll
center,
just be a fun day where, in whatever form it takes, it'll be a very fun day with a lot of treats.
If you haven't been to the center, it's a great opportunity to come see what we're all about.
Yeah, well, you know how I feel about the center. I feel like it's a second home. And for me to think that, I love that, because the last time I was on your show, Matt, my phone went off. So we're all like, it's live. But I should mention that you guys are also doing the Ed Talks too, once a month.
Yes, we are doing the Ed Talks.
Talk about those for a second.
The Ed Talks are basically, well, it's a play on words, isn't it? It's kind of a play on the TED Talks. And now you're shaking.
Oh. I shake my fleas when I have to sit. My ADHD.
We have talks every month, once a month. We'll have a talk, and they've ranged from casting young autistic actors, making it in voiceover, to mental health, the importance of mental health. This month, it's going to be all about the young actors that are portraying parts on the It's a Wonderful Life. So I'm going to talk to all of the actors that are going to be doing It's a Wonderful Life, and we're going to be, celebrating them.
That's going to be on November 23rd.
Right before.
Okay, November 23rd. It's always on a Tuesday, so that's a wonderful thing. Can we take just a second and address the questions that they've been waiting so patiently? So your angel had written in early and said that they're writing in from Indonesia. They're a 60-year-old grandmother. They've got a 16-year-old grandson that they think is on the autism spectrum, and they want to understand them. So all three of us have had 16-year-old kids on the spectrum, and they're all different. Every single one of our kids is completely different, but any words of wisdom for this wonderful grandma who wants to understand her grandson?
Well, I would say, listen. I know that's a strange thing to say, but I think people seem to feel that some people seem to feel that they're speaking, that autistic people speak a different language. They don't really speak a different language. They certainly are different, but it's they have the same fears and insecurities as we all do. Maybe they're a little more pronounced, maybe they're a little more severe, but they have the same insecurities that we do, as typical people. And I think that the important thing to do is listen and do your best to understand what they're going through.
I would add, is it your angel?
Yes.
Oh, your angel. Okay. I would add that she reach out to her community and to talk to other like-minded folks, other parents and grandparents, and every stage of our children's lives, they're different people, whether they're a 3-year-old and you just have them diagnosed. And, when Eddie was 3 compared to when he's 13, he's a totally different person. So talk to other autism families who have teenagers, because your situation is not the same as the just diagnosed 3-year-old. And all 16-year-olds are difficult and hard to understand. So I would say to just take it day by day and not beat yourself up about it, but get more information, and don't try not to feel alone, and get advice from other people who have been there.
Yeah. I love what both of you said. When I think back, the first thing that I always do is think, what was I doing at 16? And what was I like at 16? Which is not a fair litmus test because I'm not on the spectrum. I have other things going on, but I'm not on the spectrum, or at least in terms of a disorder. But I know at 16, what I wanted was to be seen and heard and to be allowed to be who I was. And I think a lot of times what we hear from our self-advocates who are adults are, don't try to change who I am. Now, to me, that's different than trying to learn a new skill. If I'm 48 and I want to learn how to crochet, I'm not changing who I am. I'm learning a new skill. But so learning a skill is different than but accepting who a person is so critical for self-esteem. And I think for any teenager on the spectrum, not on the spectrum, that becomes an important thing. And as a grandma, the fact that you're here and asking this question tells us that you're an amazing grandma.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you're already hitting it out of the park.
I agree. And I'll just say that, autism, it puts hurdles in front of your children. And it's we have to look for ways of getting over the hurdles. I love talking metaphors, and hurdles is a great metaphor. You've got hurdles in front of you, and you've got to find ways to get over. And the important thing here is that by how old is
16?
Okay, so 16. By 16, here, this is a good. I want to talk about this. So by 16 years old, parents and child have heard no so many times, can't do, so many times that it produces an insecurity, and it produces I would say an inferiority complex, and we've got to get away from that. And I agree with Shannon. I mean, it's about new skills, and it's about self-confidence. So if we can help our children and our grandchildren find self-confidence, I think that is the number one thing that we should all be trying to do.
Yes. But I love your saying to listen, because most 16-year-olds, especially 16-year-olds on the spectrum, have something that they're into. It might be a video game. It might be drawing. They're all as many things as there are people, right? But as a grandparent, if you can make it your job to feed that passion and build them up for that thing, that's a good place to start. That if it's a video game and you're like, well, I don't approve of video games, get over that.
Yeah.
Play that video game and learn about that video game. I guarantee you, if your teenager is really into it, then there's some reason to be into it. And wouldn't you want to find out what that is?
Yeah.
I know it's hard because sometimes playing the video games is a little overwhelming, but find a way to connect with them. I think it's super wonderful. Now, Jean wrote in and said she's from Kentucky. Her grandson, we're getting the grandmas today, is 9 years old on the spectrum. And I believe she also said that he has epilepsy. Now, I have friends that have gone through the having seizures, but I haven't gone through that. I can just say that what my friends have found to be really effective is the keto diet. A very strict diet has helped them with seizures. What experience do you guys have? Do you have personal experience or friends, I'm sure, that have gone through this?
Well, we have personal experience and a lot of friends. I mean, my nephew Isaiah has hundreds of seizures, silent seizures daily. And I've heard, and I'm not a doctor, I play one on TV, but I'm not a doctor. But I've heard some amazing things about CBD oils and the tar oils specifically that have really changed people's lives. I don't believe in heavy pharmaceuticals, but it has to be what works for your family. So if heavy pharmaceuticals are what you need, then I applaud you for that, because I have so many friends that have kids that just had their first seizure as 17, 18-year-old people. And Will had his first when he was little, but I mean, I thought, cheese, calm down. I thought
that's Daisy.
Is that Daisy? I thought we were out of the woods with Eddie because he's 13 and God willing, but
Well,
you never know. I mean, it's one of our biggest fears as autism parents. And so I would say try everything you can. And, there's a lot of great, our friends at Taka, there's a lot of great, natural remedies that are really working for people. I always want to do things naturally. Matt loves his pills, but
we love you guys.
I just mean you're conventional, and I like
Western
go down the natural path.
Yeah. And were we talking? Was someone asking? And was someone asking about seizures specifically?
Yeah.
Well, they said that their 9-year-old grandson has autism and has epilepsy.
Okay.
So that was why we were responding to that. And then I also want to say that somebody else has written in and said that they're a 51-year-old diagnosed with moderate autism spectrum disorder that is also watching. And of course, we love that you're here, because one of the things we always say at Autism Live is that, our whole mission is to provide information and inspiration to the whole autism community, which starts with people on the spectrum, but then we include in our community everyone who loves individuals on the spectrum. So, but if we love that you're here and representing for yourself, and that's very important, I know, to you guys as well, that you be a part of the conversation. So we're winding down here. We're almost out of time, but I want to go back to, because this is pressing, you do want to get your tickets. This is an online event. It is a gala. Let us not ever forget that this is a fundraiser to keep the things that are happening at the center that we love so much happening, and also add more. This is a year in which, the person that everything is named after, the fabulous Ed Asner, who your dad, Matt, and Navah, your father-in-law, who thought you walked on water. He just loved you so much. He loved both of you, and he was so proud of you, and often would say behind your backs about how he had spent his whole, I'm going to get emotional. He had spent his whole life working and creating work and trying to be somebody who helped, but that you guys created what would be his legacy. That is what he would say. And that how proud he was that is what you did. This is a year in which he's left us for other planes. It's important that we all surround you and not expect you to carry all the water on this, that we have to be a part of your community and support the programs that you have put in place in your dad's name. It is incumbent upon all of us to do that. And the great news is no one is asking anyone to climb Mount Everest. We're not asking you to go raise thousands of dollars or walk in rain. We're asking you to buy a ticket so that you can watch Jason Sudeikis play the role of a lifetime.
And Mandy Patinkin.
and Kathy freaking Bates. Stop.
And Spencer Hart.
Spencer Hart.
And I'm excited about Martin Sheen.
And also the choir.
I love everyone, but I'm excited about
the center choir kids are going to perform.
Oh, that's right.
Some amazing songs for Hanukkah and Christmas.
There's so much that you're going to see in this that is a celebration of what we do at the center as well. And I just really feel that, it's worth every penny of the $25.
And Jean has just written in and says that they don't always know how to express their feelings, but they are the same as we are. My grandson struggles with this. And Jean, I just want to say to you that one of the things that a lot of people have found is when you put kids on the spectrum in an arts program, they find a way, whether it's that they're making a craft project, or they're in an improv class, or they're doing a voiceover, or they're in the movie chat. They find a way to express their feelings through the arts. And that's exactly what they're doing at the Ed Asner Family Center. So I want you to check out what the free online programs are, and maybe watch one of those with your son and see what happens. Like maybe just start with Aviva's art class, which is that on Wednesdays, I think, Navah?
Tuesday.
Okay. Tuesdays.
We switched it up a little bit. So her character art is on Tuesdays, and she added an in-person fun times class that's kind of like a hands-on art and craft seasonal kind of holiday things on Thursdays. But you
Okay.
still see character driving with Aviva on Tuesdays.
Okay. And then Alexandria has written in with a last minute question. What if they have the oral fixation of eating items? You want to comment?
I'm trying to remember the name of this wonderful company. They donated a ton of stuff to the center, and they made therapeutic
jewelry
necklaces that were beautiful, and they looked specifically like these crystals that are in all the Pokemon characters. So the kids really wanted to wear them. And of course, I can't remember the name of this wonderful company, but
but they call it
jewelry. Yes. And just on any autism site, you can find, a wonderful display of these. But every kid that I've ever seen who had this issue really took to this, and it's something that they can really focus on rather than their hair or some item that they're not supposed to put in their mouths or their clothes. I remember one of our guys used to take his shirt, and just every one of his shirts and cuffs were, chewed up. But that every single person I've seen with who received one of these necklaces has really benefited from him. So I would try that. I'm so sorry, I can't remember the name of that company because they were.
But there's a lot of different companies out there. The main thing is that you want to make sure that it's food grade plastic, and that if it starts exactly away, do a new one. Yeah. And I also like the ones that have the breakaway necklaces so that they can be on the playground with it. And they have a little Velcro tab in the back so that if something pulls on it, there's no strangulation worry. And a lot of them are that way. So you can Google that to find that. We're totally out of time, my loves. I love and respect you guys so much. And I love what you're doing.
We love you, Shannon. And
I can't wait to be there with my whole family to watch this amazing event. Please not only get your tickets, but tell everyone you know. This is a really fun, good time. And then set aside that night. This is not a 1 hour thing, you guys. This is an event where you want to set up the TV trays, whatever, make yourself comfy and cozy, and be in it for the long haul, because you do want to stay for the end where they're answering the questions and write-in questions.
There's something for everyone from the beginning to the end. There really is something for everyone. So you don't want to miss it. It's a long night, but it's fun filled and exciting, and the Q&A is the funnest part.
Absolutely.
Fun. I didn't get to go to a Huffy school you did.
Alexandria said that her child is 3 and has really bad pica. So I just got to say, that becomes an entirely different issue.
Yeah.
If you have a 3-year-old with bad pica, you have to immediately get medical help for that. It might be that they have a deficiency
mineral deficiency.
Yeah, and we've seen kiddos do terrible damage by eating something that is inappropriate because they will put anything in their mouth because they're
it's
and those are the kids that if you look away for 1 split second, it's the bottle of Tylenol or
a battery or something else that can't be retrieved easily. So I'm going to ask you to call your pediatrician today, and if you haven't, I'm a big fan of ABA. ABA can help with pica, but first you got to look at the medical stuff. So that's all we have time for. If you want to write further to me about this for recommendations, please write me at Shannon@autism-live.com. Don't forget to go to TEAF. I get lost in the letters. TEAFC.org. And you can click on the button for It's a Wonderful Life, but you can also find all the other stuff there as well. Go to one of those free classes. If you don't, you're missing out. It's on you. We told you. All right. Much love to you guys. We're back tomorrow with Dr. Granpeesheh from Ask Dr. Doreen. Until then, give your kiddos a hug from me and one for you too. Thank you, Matt and Navah.
Thank you, everyone.
Mwah. Bye. If you found anything helpful in this video, please give us a like. In fact, make sure that you smash that subscribe button on YouTube and give us a like on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Instagram for important updates. And please download our free podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you so much. See you next time.